Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome to our fourth episode of the new You Talkshow. And my name is Frederick. And joining me are Mandd, Fernando, and Nick Isa. Special guest is here with us again. No, not Tom Autopilot. It's none other than Neo. All right, we have Neo right here, just with us again. And he was with us last week. And you can call him Neo for short. And good to have you guys on the show, gentlemen. Tonight's topic is entitled How to Network Like a Boss. As you have already heard of this evergreen saying, your network is your net worth. This urban proverb is just so undeniably true. Now, before all the net worth is determined, we got to figure out how to build a solid network for ourselves. So specifically for tonight, we want to delve deep into this topic and examine the do's and don'ts of networking, the rights and not so rights of business relations, and how one can further fine-tune one's social skills so that one can form better networks. So let's kick off this discussion with a question. And I think this very common question that I have is that what's the most common networking mistakes that you see people make, and how can it be avoided? Take it away, guys.
Okay, for me, right, I think networking, before you even start networking, right, you must also do your own research. Basically on about what the places that you want to network with, one, that's important, and make sure is what you want to network is in the sense of research about yourself and improve yourself on how to do networking, speech, or maybe doing a 1 minute pitch to sell yourself. So I think believe in this, you will shorten the way of how you project yourself towards the person you were talking to. What about Mandd? What do you think about networking, basically?
Okay, this is the part that actually later I'll ask Neo for certain things, because they are actually, because I know that Neo was in BNI and he is actually very active there. And this is the very first question first, Neo. I mean, before I jump into mine, it's like, in BNI or in other networking, they always say create your sales pitch, your elevator speech, which is 30 seconds, 60 seconds. But I went to another networking where they actually teach us how to network. And they ask a very tricky question, which is, are you worth only 60 seconds? Is your business worth only 60 seconds? And the way they say that if someone only willing to give you 30 seconds, what is the point of you giving them the time of sharing what you want to share? What is your view on that?
My gut answer, right? There's always a politically correct answer, but there's a gut answer. The gut answer is what is the value you bring to the conversation? I think it's what matters the most. I don't really want to measure it in time, because as a matter of fact, when we meet with people, we want to have lasting impression. We want to have a lasting relationship. We don't want many name cards, because if we just want many name cards, we can buy leads, right?
Correct.
But since we are there in a physical setting, I don't think I would measure in terms of time. But I want to know as many people as possible, so that I know that there are certain people that I can connect with.
So do you in the pro of the elevator speech, or do you more towards like building that connection no matter how long you need to share?
After this number of years through working as well as in entrepreneurship, I value more of lasting impression. So it's not about quantity, it's about the quality. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because for me, I noticed that my mistake that time when I start networking is like, before I come in, I directly hunt on who is the one that will give me the sales. I believe a lot of people do that. It's like, okay, let me see who is in the list, who can give me sales on that particular time. And I realized that in the end, I didn't go in as genuinely. I'm more towards like, can I close you at that particular time? And that is the one that destroyed my whole networking. And now when I go somewhere, I don't even look at who is the person inside. I just wanted to build the connection, and I feel that it's more relaxed, because like what we shared before, I'm also an introvert. So I don't need to prepare the whole entire speech. Because for me, it's like, let's build the network and let's build the relationship. And the rest is later.
I guess
Yeah, so that,
I can connect this back to what Frederick asked in the initial stage, because not all networking sessions have this opportunity where you can hear everyone's self-introduction. So go in with a clear self-introduction, whether it's 30 seconds or 45 seconds or 60 seconds. I think it's also very important that we know who are we exactly looking to work with, but not to sell to. So when you say that, right, at least you know from the other person's response to your initial introduction is whether they go, huh? Or they go like, I totally don't know what you're talking about. If they go, huh, that means you was like, okay, then I must probably refine this before the next person speaks to me. Yeah. But if they continue the conversation, at least you know that you got them engaged. So I think the preparation is still important to make full use of your time. You need to know that you are effective on that day. But of course, I don't measure an event based on how many name cards I get. I'll probably measure it by how many people will actually look forward to take the conversation out of the session. Yeah, but I'm still quality more than quantity.
Very true, very true.
Exactly. Totally agree with that, actually. I believe that networking should be more, anyway, networking has always been like dubbed as a very self-serving and interest-based activity. I think over the years it has become so, but thankfully I think in the recent times we are more awakened to the fact that it's not just about serving your interests and not about going in with the intention of, oh, you don't want to sell people or want to do sales with people. But as we all know by now, it's like nobody likes to be sold to. And yeah, and I pretty much agree with what Mandd said and what Neil said too. I think for the self-introduction part, we do have a limited time because we are working on a very fast pace in a very fast environment. And getting to know a person just by the split second itself, it actually forms an impression. I think impression is so precious. Impression is so important to people. Like the first 7 seconds, not 60 even, is first 7 seconds, the voice, the tone of your voice, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you present yourself, is like, it's going to be like the whole entire package of who you are really. So that forms an impression in people's mind of who you exactly are and what you are, what you stand for. I think that is something which wow, it's something which you are like an ambassador for yourself, like your business, your career, and everything. So I think this is like the whole activity of what networking is about, like being there. It's just being present and showing what value that you can give to others as well. And yeah, and I guess the best way to avoid the mistake of selling to people is to like have some kind of a true intention, like what your goal is for going to that event, because there are so many types of networking. So if you anyhow go and network, right, you just go anyhow network in different networks, you're gonna find yourself put in different direction. I feel I'm not sure if you guys agree with that, but it's just that there are different types of networking sessions. So it depends on which group you want to like be affiliated to also.
And not to mention, not just in Singapore, I mean, Singapore is such a small market, right? If you go to all the sessions trying to get to know everyone, chances are your reputation will also spread. So sooner or later, others will be like, hey, this guy again.
Yeah, he's everywhere, you know?
Yeah, this pattern again.
Yeah.
It's not
I think that everywhere is a like double-sided sword. If we're everywhere, but everybody have a good impression of us, then everybody will say, oh, welcome you in a very open arm. And if we like hunt to every single networking, I think for networking, you already know, oh, this person again, let's go far away.
Yeah. Then the organizer might blacklist you. I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, what are the mistakes that normally networking that when go wrong? Normally, Neil want to explain some of them.
I like this example when I first did a training about networking do's and don'ts. Is that in networking event, nobody is looking to buy anything. But if you go there to try to sell, you are speaking the wrong language. Yeah. So if nobody's going to buy anything, but everyone's going there to sell, then everybody's wasting everyone's time.
That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah. So when I thought that became my mantra, like, okay, today I'm going to this session. Yes, I know, I hope the bonus is somebody is interested to work with me, but I won't go there to sell. I want to go there and be rejected. So this is a cross of what I used to do when I was doing for charity work, no, we all don't like to be bugged when we are like out of the MRT and things like that. Sorry to everyone who is doing the canvassing. Yeah. But when I do charity, I always, I set the goal of today I want to be rejected by like 50 people. So when I go and pass out any, do my self-introduction, pass them a brochure, tell them to read something from a clipboard, for my like post secondary school time, I somehow got that feeling that, hey, if I mark myself by being rejected X number of times, right, I will actually meet more people than the amount of rejections I'll get. So then after that, when this networking energy came about, then I'm like, yeah, this is true. So I don't want to be rejected in that way, but I would like to use the chance to brush up my self-introduction so that with the aim that if someone remembers my pitch, and I also remember that person's pitch, right? There's one other person looking out for you in this event. Then to me, that's a bonus already.
So you need to sell your unique selling point, so-called.
I need to know who am I looking for, and I need to know someone else's so-called ask, like who are they looking for? And because being the, since man mentioned about the introvert part, right? It's always easier to brag about someone else.
Yeah, I use that often. I use that often. In sense that, hey, who do you actually need? Then I will try to pick up my database and say, okay, I know someone that I can link to you. Yeah. I think that one is true. Yeah, because like what you say, I did talk to someone that also do love networking, and he break the pattern, as in he sit down and say, who is here that is come here to sell? Raise your hand. And everybody raised their hand. And he asked again, okay, now I want to ask all of you, who is the one that come in to buy? Nobody raised the hand. Then his pitch is only one, I'm just who I am. If you want to talk to me, please talk to me, but I'm not going to do any pitch. Then he sit down. And because of that pattern, someone in the end come to him and say, actually, can you share with me what you do?
That's a very interesting approach.
Yeah, so his pitch is really literally like asking people, okay, who is coming to sell? Everybody raise hand. Who is coming to buy? Nobody raise. So okay, I will just sit down and continue my food. Please go and network again. If you want to talk to me, please come and talk to me. That is his pitch.
He said it on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, because he feel that he say he come in with nothing to lose. He just wanted to know whether or not the pattern that he break actually will so-called trigger something in people. And apparently from there, people start to be interested and say, okay, who can you share with me more about yourself? Yeah, but I believe you don't do that every time, because if you do that every time, everybody will know that this is pitch. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the breaking pattern part, but unless he's a regular, then
He is not.
Yeah,
The way when he shares, he's not.
sometimes
Yeah.
breaking pattern may backfire.
Correct.
People will be like, hey, what is this weirdo doing? It may backfire. So NLP has been used and misused.
True. Very true. Very true.
Misuse and abuse. Yeah, many times. Yeah. So speaking about I think networking, we now talk about the nuances, because I believe that networking is about forming relationships. And so what are some of the nuances that one should take note of during networking to avoid embarrassing yourself in such situation? Because I know there are certain lines or liners that people use, when connecting, and you must know when to back off, and you must know when to just go into the small little groups and contribute. So what are some of the nuances that newbies can take note of?
I think this is Neo. Neo will be quite an expert in this area.
Yeah.
Me again.
Not you, man.
I was still thinking about examples.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about talking, like when group of people are talking. There are sometimes when you have such a situation, how can you approach them without being too intrusive? Because during networking sessions, I do remember sometimes like me and this guy is just talking face to face, right? It's face to face, and if somebody comes in, that's like quite intrusive. Versus the fact that if I were to talk to this person like facing sideways, and this person is like facing sideways towards me as well, so we're both like at an angle of 45 degrees. So that's like an open group. It's an open group. People come in, it's not too bad. It doesn't feel that intrusive. And so there's all these nuances during relations, because sometimes you have strange people in sessions that these strange people perhaps are less aware. So how can we like make it known so that they can be a bit more aware in this area?
Wow.
Actually, on this last time when the first time that I joined the networking group, and they actually do teach us specifically on that. In sense, like they say, as a someone that accepting the visitor, at first definitely you will actually stand front to face because it's a common people how to talk. But he directly say once you say hi, once you share a bit of what you want, just put the 45 degree so that other people can definitely come in and they share with all of the other people. Like once you see that someone guiding the host actually talk to the visitor and they make the 45 degree, please go ahead and jump in. So it actually can be arranged that way.
Yeah.
And you can actually save someone by looking at their feet. This is a body language that cannot go wrong. If I talk to you face to face now, but your feet is towards 180 degree away, this means like, please save me, I am in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, so this is the body language that cannot be. You cannot actually control it. And that is also how interrogation inspector will see whether you lie or you don't lie. Because they always, last time we always been told that, why you don't dare to look at my eyes? Are you lying?
Yeah. It's cultural as well, because if you're talking to Japanese or Koreans, for example, they'll probably not look into your eyes.
But the point is actually when the people lie, they will actually tend to look into your eye longer. It's because of they know that since young they've been told if you lie, you don't look at your eyes. But the feet will naturally go opposite direction of let's go, I need to run.
So this is the feet, right? So if the feet is like that, he's engaged. So if the feet is like that, is he engaged?
Correct.
No.
It's like, okay, when I talk to you, my feet will be like this, right?
Right.
Then suddenly, all of a sudden, my feet will be like that.
Yeah.
It's like I want to go to that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you see someone open up the leg a bit, then like spread up and go sideways, it's like, please someone save me, I am doomed here.
Yeah. So in this context, you can just jolly well say, "Oh, we connect another time for coffee, okay?"
That's one way to avoid. If is there anyone at home to help you indirectly. However, in the group setting, for example, right? Okay, I am introduce you to someone else, and then explaining to him about what this person is, and then recommendation to that. Between 3 to 4%, I think it is quite healthy when the 4% engage. However, when I believe want to ask Neil, let's say A, B, C, D, okay, so it's about 4%, and 2, A and C are very engaged, but the B and D was not so much. So how do B and D as a person to get involved in the conversation and everything, and to get so that is more of I would say it's a group discussion, a group networking, compared to just A and C. Any?
You mean we are standing in the shoes of B and D?
Yeah, correct.
I don't think you like my answer.
Why?
Then I would say, why get stuck?
I know how do you how to get engrossed, or maybe do you think just excuse yourself if you got not related, but it's actually related to the topic that you want to discuss. But how do you get B and D to get so not to cut through the C, A and C, but to get involved together?
Honestly, I used to be bothered by this quite a bit. But I felt that the best way is, if I really want to get involved with A and C, I would just have asked for their name cards, and then we can go for a second round later or something like that. But if I really don't find that there is a way to cut in, especially if they are really talking about something relevant between them, I would most probably listen so that I see what is the value and probably learn if it's out of my industry. Yeah, that would have been more meaningful than trying to cut into a conversation and act like I know. Yeah, they really have something on, you see. So no point for me to add in unless I'm trying to. But then I don't want to close them or sell to them. So I would think that just give them the airspace. If there's a chance to reconnect again, I'm pretty sure later on or beyond the event we can do that again. Yeah, but other than that, if I'm someone outside of this group, then I'll probably stand within eye contact distance. I will see if anyone acknowledges me, then I will just probably ask like, oh, can I listen in?
That's
Usually nobody will say, no, you cannot listen. But some people are shy to say, can I join in? So instead of saying, can I join, you say, oh, can I listen in? Then I guess eventually somebody will be like, yeah, can you let's know more about yourself? You're just joining in. And I mean, in a networking situation, no, I don't think there's anyone who will say, no, you cannot join in. This is like a confidential conversation.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless that particular group itself looks unfriendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just wondering, I think this one goes to everybody, but I think especially for Nick, how do you build that lasting impression during networking? I think this is like more external, like how do you build that kind of lasting impression on people? I think that's important too. What do you think, Nick?
Okay, for me, I think lasting impression is very important in the sense that, okay, for example, we're talking about a topic. So basically, you must make sure that whether the A topic, you know about it, but never presume that you know. Never be so confident to say that, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. You should not do that. I just say, okay, they talk about A, but is it related to you? But if you feel that it's not related to you, for me, I believe that I'll say, okay, I will just excuse myself, say, oh, okay, we try to catch up some of the time. This is my contact number. I just talk about that. It's nicely just move away from that. But if let's say you're talking about very good, then it's how you want to market, so-called market in the sense that giving them a little bit of related topics about topic A, but then something how you handle topic A, and basically something unique about how you're handling that situation. Same probably that's one. And that way also like what I think like Mandd's an example, use case study or represent to someone else, making a joke of it. So basically I think when people create story, right, people always listen and people always remember you. Yeah, I believe in that. That's my thinking and my way of how I network normally. Yeah. How about Neo? Is it correct? Because you've been doing a lot of BNI meetings. Or what's your point of view on that?
Yeah, I guess the part about you can always participate in a proactive listening way more than trying to take over the conversation by saying that you are also experienced in that. So what I have applied from what I've learned before is probably catching some keywords. And it's usually easier if you ask for help. Even if you know, you can just, hey, by the way, I'm just checking in. Do you mean this when you say this? Yeah, I'd like to hear more about your perspective on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard you say this. Are you referring to this? In a way, play victim.
Yeah,
that's good strategy.
Good strategy.
Yeah, because the other person will definitely want to feel, they will feel more kind to enlighten you, rather to be proven wrong. You see. Yeah, but I don't mean this in a scheming way, I really don't mean this as a scheming way. It's just a conversation that you find that is something related. So I use my example like I'm regularly talking about ESG, and whenever people talk about ESG, there were bound to be people who don't understand what ESG is, because ESG is also short form for Enterprise Singapore in Singapore. But ESG is also economic, social, societal, and governance in the sustainability space. So one easy way in is, I always want to confirm, are you guys talking about the government body or, sustainability term?
You always double check with what the conversation is.
Yes, double checking the conversation. At least one thing you can think, you can be sure that you don't look stupid.
Yeah.
To avoid embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, correct.
That's true. That's true.
Very, very good strategy. And I kind of agree with you there that you should let the other person feel good about themselves by not assuming, but at the same time, nobody likes to be proven wrong. They love to help, and because they love to be heard, they love to be listened to. And so having a good listening ear or being an active listener will be a great skill to hone as well. It's like you show empathy by, rephrasing, paraphrasing what the other person has said to show that you understand the person's perspective. I think psychologically it does more benefits than anything else. Yeah. So I mean, it's common sense. basically you talk, when you speak, it's for who to listen. It's for other people to listen. It's not for you to listen. You must well talk to yourself, right? So if you want to speak the truth, speak it to yourself. But if you want to speak something that other people want to listen, then that's how you win friends. That's how you,
Yes.
you get people to rally and come to you and work with you. I think that is something which everybody probably is doing, or maybe some. Yeah.
I think another best part that you all can try is like I always share when someone asks me like, if you go networking, what do you do? I only say try to be interested compared to be interesting. Because there's a lot of people want to show off like I am the best. I wear Armani suit, I wear LV shoes, I wear Hermes belt. But the thing is there's no point, am I right, that you go in that to just show that you are interesting person, but you are not interested to the other party. Because it's a funny thing is that it's one time when I go networking, I only keep asking the person of what he do, who he's trying to find, and really literally dig in a deep. And until the person asks me, actually, what are you doing? It seems like you are not coming here to share about yourself. Can I know more about what you do? And out of a sudden, in the end, he become a client. So sometimes by being interested with someone sincerely, not to like fakely like, oh, if I'm interested with this person, I'll get a sales. It will not happen because the sincerity will show. So I think that's what I feel that helped me a lot. That's why when I went to a strange place, suddenly got a few people, familiar space, then they will come to me and introduce me to the whole group. Because they know that I'm not trying to boost about myself. I'm trying to know other people instead. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The position is in a position of service, not to take.
That's the reason.
Frederick, what about you? Showing how do you do networking in terms of business astrologer?
Well, for business astrology part, I look at charts for business owners, and if we are, if we kind of, how do I say, look at a person's birth chart, we can tell whether the person is a very natural networker or not. But of course, a person can be a very natural networker. He has some planetary placements within him or her, and that itself is a telltale sign. So for some of you who do not have that placement, don't have to worry, because you can still train yourself. And networking can be a skill set that can be trained. And for people, okay, who have a natural networking tendency, okay, here it is out. Okay, you have 7 traditional classical planets, right? So that's like Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon, right? So if you look at the Venus is like your affectionate self, right? Venus rules social connection and relationships. So when you have a strong Venus in your chart, then you are probably somebody who's quite social and relational, or relatable as well. So if you have a Mercury that is very strong in your chart, that also, because Mercury is the planet of communication. So when you have a strong Mercury in your chart, you are you're pretty good in communicating and talking. You're very articulate. You are able to think with wit, very sharp wit and intellect as well. And so you'll be able to connect with others easily. So the same thing can be said with air signs, like air sign people like Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. If you have a sun or a moon in these air signs, you probably have that gift as well. So people in this placement, they tend to be intellectually curious, sociable, and they enjoy interacting with a wide variety of people. So when we look at the birth chart again, people with a 7th house, that also, because 7th house is a place where we talk about relationships, right? And it's about partnerships, marriage, relationships. And if you have a very strong or well-expected, or rather a very strong placement in the 7th house or the 11th house, the 11th house is about groups, network, friends, allies, and all that. So 11th for community, 7th for partnership. If you have very good placements in these houses, then you have that natural gift of networking. And of course, there are many other factors that we look at on the chart that determines whether a person has that natural gift for networking or not, or relational factors, or it could be emotional intelligence. So people with that kind of placement that I've just mentioned, they probably do have all these natural instinct and tendency towards being a very good networker or even socialite. I don't know, but people who are very relational in nature. So that's my take on how I look at people who are good at what they're doing, such as networking, as an astrologer myself. Yep.
Okay. How about you as a business consultant? When client look for you, or when you communicate with a person through networking, how do you present yourself, and what would you say in your pitch? I mean, your keywords. What kind of keywords?
Oh, it's usually the key point is usually let them speak. I don't really watch out for what I need to say because everyone likes to talk about themselves.
I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you talk about yourself?
I really, most of the time, I don't really prepare myself other than I'm here to hear, I'm here to listen out for your needs. And then I paraphrase their needs, just like what was discussed just now. Yeah, because if I were to tell them, this is, I know I can do this, I know I can do this, I've done this before, this should have already been heard by them before they come and look for me, right? They must have heard all the testimonials of what I've done before they want to have this conversation. So there's no need to do another round of selling when they have already heard all the advertisements. But what if I can portray it, help them to rearrange their problems by, I believe in writing down as well. So I usually go in with just a blank piece of paper, or if they have a whiteboard, I will usually utilize the whiteboard so that when they voice out something, I will paraphrase it and leave it on the board. And when they can see it, there's also a kind of a, I don't know whether you call it NLP or it's just a visualization that, hey, what if I can do this? Do you agree this is a solution? And they say yes, then you strike it off, or you just erase it off the board. And when after everything is done, if I can do this, are we on board, you know? It's like there's nothing left on the board, right? There's no more problems, or all has been resolved. Then you will know whether they are good to go, or they are just faking it, or they're just trying to, they actually don't know what they want. Yeah.
I believe it's also what you just mentioned. I think just be yourself, be sincere, and there's not always a free gift. I mean, there's always a free gift in terms of the communications, but that's that you not selling yourself, you're actually marketing yourself and bring awareness to people about what you do and what's your capability. And I think it's more about you, like in the sense about the best in you. However, not only that, you can need to be also give and take. I believe in that, and also it's a two-way conversation. Where else you have to intake certain parts, and I think what Neil bring up is quite a very important thing, where you actually paraphrase certain things, so that more like, okay, in NLP, you know what I mean, mirroring. Yeah, so basically at times it is the only thing about NLP I believe in mirroring. I believe in that. Yeah, that's the way of to go in terms of networking. How about Frederick? Any other thing you want to discuss more?
I think we have covered quite a lot of grounds with regards to networking and the do's and don'ts, the rights and not so right kind of way in terms of nuances and things to look out for, such as body languages, words that we use, and also the impression that we strike, and how we come across to people. Quite a lot of grounds that we've touched on already. And I think to conclude this entire episode is that I think for networking, it's more towards like going in with a targeted mindset. Like it's all about mindset. It's like attitude is one. Another thing is about mindset. It's like it's about tuning into putting others first in terms of the interests of other people rather than yourself. And it's not about selling to people. Although it's about selling yourself, but it's not about selling yourself to people. It's more about building relationships, and building relationship is something which is very, it takes time. So I think my last question would be this, is that, how do we follow up? Because many of us network, but not a lot of us follow up, not a lot of us follow up. And that's the sad reality, because you network and you get all the name cards, you get all the contacts, and then people remember you. But, along the way, you don't follow up, like you don't call him, he doesn't call you. What's next? Right? So it's like that happens to me. I'm not sure about you guys. What do you think? I mean, does this happen to you? And
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
How do you make that happen? Like, not anymore.
Okay. So, of course, for those that we got a name card through somebody else, I can't vouch that I will definitely follow up, like, unless it was really a direct introduction, not a name card that was just passed to me. Because I don't consider that a connection. I just consider that a name card. The other person doesn't know I have his name card, so I don't categorize those type of connections as connections now. But what I do right now, especially in events, is I will make it a point that, one, if the person is not shy, we will actually take a selfie with event. I mean, with the other person. So these are some of my so-called rules. You can call them tips or tricks. Is that I actually have a QR code. So when I get the other person to scan, thanks to COVID, everybody is a QR code expert now, right?
Yeah.
I actually have a QR code that when they scan, they will not only automatically send there's a template of a self-introduction and my LinkedIn URL. So all they have to do is to type their name and click send. They don't even have to know how to introduce themselves. They just have to type their name and then click send.
Like me and Frederick, we have our wing.
Yeah.
Frederick will explain more.
That ring where I'll get people to scan and NPC or something. What's
NFC.
That? NFC, yeah.
NFC,
NFC.
NFC. With acronyms. Yeah, so it's like this person will just tap the phone on my finger, and that's where they receive the contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then you know that the person is serious because unless they reject you upfront and say, oh no, I don't want to tap your card. Yeah. So if and I try to do it for LinkedIn is because then I will know what they are actually interested in or what are they actually looking at recently. So then I will be able to do a bit of background so that I don't go into a conversation totally cold. Because I need an opener and I can't go into a conversation to say, hey, hi, I'm so and so, I made this event, this is what I do, and then you pitch yourself again.
Yeah.
But if I know that they are on LinkedIn, or at least I use LinkedIn, and when they click, they will also talk to me about their LinkedIn. I know these are some of the things that they're looking out for, some of their interests, some of their recent posts, some of their recent shares. And then I will go and comment on their LinkedIn first.
Nice.
Once I know that, I will be able to go into their conversation. And of course, I'm not trying to just use it to connect with me. I'll just engage in the conversation first because I really want to know about you. It's okay they don't know about me. But I want to know about you, and then I see what I can learn from your industry. And when we are more friendly, then the conversation will come to, hey, let's hop onto a call, let's hop onto a Zoom or Teams, and find out where the person's office is, and then there is a chance for face-to-face. I know I'm still quite old school. I like to meet people face-to-face. But I do think that face-to-face, I do still find that face-to-face leaves an impression more than a call. A call to me still sounds like a pitch.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I'm still quite old school like you because face to face has this human touch, this human connection, the personal touch. We can't run away from that. It's like if imagine texting. A lot of people are busily texting nowadays. It's like, hey, bro, it's like, can we just I'm just right in front of you. You gotta text.
That bad.
Yeah, you can. I mean, sometimes it can get that bad, but that is the extreme case. But of course, people are so busy texting nowadays. Even you have apps, even for dating apps, people are just busy texting each other, but they don't meet each other. That's the problem. And only when you want to meet each other, that's when you get really friendly. But I still feel that the initial part should always be the meetup first. Even though you don't know this person, but at least you meet the person, this is who I'm seeing. It's an open book. Right. And that makes more space, more room for, getting to know each other. I still feel that it's just the personal touch that, we probably need, and we can't run away from that, even though we have AIs and whatnot.
Yeah, I think sometimes there might still be people who find that, I just got to know this person who is like the CEO or some chairman of some particular industry that they might find intimidating.
Yeah.
And they are like protecting themselves instead of being rejected. They just want to text first or reach out some other way first, especially if it is not their personal number, you go through their secretary. So I find that to skip directly to their LinkedIn, if they maintain a LinkedIn, that means they are the one posting it, most likely.
Yeah, true.
So then the conversation would be really with the person and not a booking appointment to see if there's a chance that I can pitch you something.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, if you go in with the intention to pitch, that's another way already. Yeah.
And it's also helpful. I just remember one thing. It's also very helpful if when you're on LinkedIn, and then you see that this person just started a new position, they will be more open for meeting up.
I know they always. I receive so many messages.
Yeah, like congratulations and all that.
Not early with conversations, straight into sales.
Oh,
I was like, oh wow.
It's like people coming to you to sell you, right?
Yeah, for services or everything. Okay.
That's the thing. That's the thing nowadays, right? When people just wanting to sell you, and people don't like to be sold to.
Yeah, for me, those on LinkedIn, those messages I did not reply. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess anything else from you, Nick?
Nothing. That's for me. I think the question we asked to Neil and to Mandd. I think Mandd have to go just now earlier because of something. Yep.
Some private events or something. Yeah, some personal stuff. Yeah. All right, we'll keep it as that. Yeah, and we've got people streaming in. It's just we're at the last.
So far, from Facebook Live, there's no question posted. So for today, because today I think about networking. Hey, Mandd is back.
Oh, Mandd.
He heard you.
Oh, yeah.
I hear someone talking.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Just
yeah, he heard you.
we're just about to do a closing, but however, any last thing for you, Mandd? We were just talking about what you missed out just now. We were talking about how, what was it? Sorry.
We were talking about this part where, wait, let me try to recall. It was a part where we talk about the it's something about networking, about following up, right? It's
following up with the connections. Yes.
Yeah. How do you follow up with connections? Like, we want to hear your thoughts, because sometimes it's very difficult to just follow up. People say, "Oh, we collaborate." Yeah. End up.
Okay. I have a lot of pain in that side, as in like, okay, let's collaborate, let's do this and that, but in the end of the day, it's like everything go off the air. So my always belief that I very frank in this area. I believe like with me, with Frederick, when I talk, I would say, let's don't need to be nice to each other. If we can't do it, let's put a stop and be friends. We don't need to continue our relationship based on like fake kind of, let's do collaboration and let's go for coffee, but actually please go away from me. I don't want to talk to you kind of. You know?
So far, it hasn't happened. Good thing.
No, but it's like I did experience that. It's like when the person say, "Oh, I like your idea. Let's just talk about over coffee." And when I ask, when should we go for coffee? Like the next day or the next 2 days? Let's go and grab a coffee. Then the person will like, did I tell you that we want to meet again? So I believe that if we respect the other party on the area that they might not actually sincerely want to meet us, we need to step back and say it's okay.
Yeah. Again, it's the sincerity issue that we're talking about. It's so important.
Because nobody want to be rude and say we cannot collaborate. So they give you a polite, gentle way of talking.
Yeah, and also the way we handle rejection also, because a lot of us cannot handle rejection.
Yeah, that's why it's like for them, we need to put on their feet and their shoes. And saying that, oh, maybe they are talking to me this way because they try to be polite and don't want to hurt my feeling. Rather than I make them hurt my feeling, why not I open up and say it's okay for us not to collaborate because they can be friends. That's my approach. I did say that a few times. And we become friends.
Yes. I think being direct brings you more friends, and it gives you that kind of like credibility because people will trust you better. But
yes.
That's being nice, and Mr. Nice Guys finish last.
I disagree on that sentence.
Feel free to disagree because
I believe I believe what Mandd said about be direct and to say out loud. Actually, it's basically for us as a business person, we have to move on, right? Indirectly. Yeah. So I believe by with that sentence, we can be collaborate, we can just be friends. So it's depending whether the collaboration doesn't work together or you just be friends. It doesn't matter. But you're still in connect with each other. Right? But it doesn't mean that we can't collaborate with each other because it doesn't work for our business. It doesn't mean that we cannot meet again, right? All right. So basically, I believe that we as a businessman, I think by saying that what Mike just mentioned, I think it helps it helps us to think and move on. Yeah.
Because actually, if someone told me way before, saying the same way to me, I will appreciate that.
Yep.
Because it's like maybe I'm too shy to say, Frederick, we cannot collaborate.
Yeah.
But by you saying that, it's actually, it's okay, we can just be friends. We don't need to collaborate. It will be happier this way. I actually will appreciate a lot.
Yeah, it's really really a good gesture to sometimes to just be honest with ourselves, with our feelings, rather than to be nice about things, and later on you suffer the consequence of the backfire of have someone having a different impression of you in the end. Like when you say you deliver but you didn't because you are too nice to even admit and be honest about the feeling. So this is what I call the nice guy effect. Like, oh, just want to be nice. I don't hurt their feelings. But you don't say, people don't know. In the end, it's a communication failure.
Yeah, so
things break down.
a question that you asked me, I only normally will just follow up 2 times or 3 times. Even with a client that I know really need my help, I only will ask 3 times.
Why 3 times?
Because there's a beauty of 3.
So that means it's like giving chances. I can normally give second chance, normally, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it's very strange for us. If let's say I'm really able to help you, and I ask you once, I ask you twice, I ask you 3 times. If more than that, I feel that I'm trying to push you my service. And if I keep trying that and the person become my client or become my collaborator, they know that I can be pushed. Right? It's like, man really need me. Without me, he will keep pushing me.
Yeah, it's like appearing desperate.
Correct. So normally it's like the third time I will just message this, like for my potential client, this will be my final follow up. In case you need me in the future, you can contact me. But I know that you didn't come back, so this will be my final follow up. Then I need to take my respect of that person of never follow up anyone. Yeah, so that is my way.
Okay, great. I guess we can conclude this chapter, this episode here. But before we do so, any last words?
Nothing for me. Thank you.
All good here.
Oh, good.
Neil, how about Neil? Our guest speaker.
I always like to end off like with setting an intention.
Yeah.
So since today we're talking about networking, then why not go to the next session with an intention to serve? And if you are still shy and if you want to practice everything that you have just heard today, bring someone to the next networking. You can watch out. You can watch out for one another,
That is true. In a pair, normally it's more relaxed. So at least if you want to be introvert and introvert, you can be introvert together.
Yeah, 4 of us are introverts, by the way.
But don't go there and talk to each other, okay?
Exactly.
No point.
Yeah. All right. So I guess next week it will be on another topic, which I think we will review later sometime in the future. But of course, next week it would not be on Friday. It would be on Thursday night. So it's gonna be the same time, 9 p.m. Singapore time, Thursday. So that would be, I think 27. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
27. Yeah. 27.
Right. 27.
Yeah, Thursday, 27th of July at 9 p.m. So we will be updating the topic pretty soon. And of course, for now, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you guys and ladies and gentlemen for chiming in. Some of you guys, and we hope this session has benefited you in many ways. And of course, we hope to hear from you and your feedback and your comments about what you've learned so far and also what you've experienced from. We'd like to hear more from you. So please like, share, comment, and really thank you for your support.
And very thank you to Neil for attending our 2 last week and this week. Thank you, Neil, for all everything for us, helping us as a speaker guest. All right. Thank you
for giving me the chance to share.
Definitely.
Okay. Have a great evening,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.